you want to bring her with the music, let her be. Looks like our DJ has decided it's going to be a musical affair. Because we want to create winning PR campaigns. This is a session I'm sure everybody will be paying attention to. Excellent. Now, joining us as well virtually, we have amazing panelists joining us virtually. We have St. Francis Tolang, Global Senior Director Communications, Coco Enterprise Mass. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. Welcome. And also joining us as well is, guess what? The chair, PRCA, is right here. Christy Layton. Welcome, Christy. It's good to see you. We can see you looking very bright and ready. Thank you so much, my panelists, for being here. Before we start, allow me to remind all our participants that you can interact with this session on our Slido. It helps a lot so to be able to ask the questions to the panelists today and ensure that we can, as much as possible, get the gist of this conversation. We are talking about creating winning PR campaigns for brands. And maybe to our panelists who are here, over the last, it's almost 2 days now, but over the last a day and a three-quarter of it, we've been discussing a lot about brands. How do we grow our African professionals so that they can become even global experts and even create global campaigns that can be accepted around? And so this is a very good conversation to as well proceed on with this, on how we can get this winning campaigns, creating winning PR campaigns for brands. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to ask my team here, and maybe I'll start with the online team. I'll start with St. Francis. If you don't mind, just introduce yourself briefly for about 30 seconds and just say what you do. Please go ahead.
Jumbo, and hello to everyone. Sincere apologies that I could not be there in person. As introduced, I'm the Global Senior Director of Communications for the Mars Coco Enterprise. So many of you will know Mars, amazing brands, Snickers, M&M's, Skittles, etc. Family-owned business. We're headquartered out of the US. I'm a global resource, so I spend my time between Chicago and Johannesburg, South Africa, which is my home country. Really pleased to be here with you today.
Excellent. And maybe let me ask you a question, Francis. Where are you now?
I am in Johannesburg at my home. Unfortunately, I had quite a lot of travel, and so I couldn't make it in person to be with you in Nairobi.
No, I was just checking, just to check whether you have had lunch, but this is good. Great. Let me now go as well to Christy. It's good to see you, Chair. So please introduce yourself to the people.
Thank you very much. Wonderful to be here remotely. Hi, my name's Kirsty. I am the founder and group CEO of Milk and Honey PR. We have offices in Europe, in North America, and in Asia. Nothing yet in Africa, so perhaps I can find appointed to the chair of the management board for the PRCA.
Excellent.
But usually travel quite extensively.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We had that, and you're welcome. I think you're represented because a lot of people here who are quote-unquote members as well are present. Thank you so much for that. And it's good to have you here. Let me come to my live audience here, live panelists. If you don't mind, very quickly, just your name and what you do for the sake of the ones who may be meeting you for the first time. Go ahead, Oliver.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon. My name is Oliver Madenge. Yesterday, people called me the anti-AI guy, but I'm not. I work as a communication consultant. My official title is storyteller. That's how I introduce myself. And basically, I've worked as a journalist and now working in the communication consultancy with currently engaged with Oxygen. Marketing and Communication Limited here in Nairobi. And I'm happy to be here again. At least this time I'm prepared. I wasn't ambushed by the MC.
You always have to be ready with me. Thank you so much for that. Let me come now to you, Emma. Please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Emma Wenani. I work for Global Media Alliance. It's a marketing and communications company in Accra, Ghana. So we do everything marketing, communications, 360 comms, events management. We also work across the Africa as well. So we do work in other cities in Africa, but we are based in Ghana. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's get straight to it. I can see my audience here is ready to digest and pick as much nuggets as possible. We're talking about a winning PR campaign. And my first question to you would be, what are the key ingredients of a winning PR campaign in today's African context? You can contextualize it whichever the way that you will see it possible. And probably you can give a comparison if you have any on a global perspective. But what are the key ingredients for a winning PR campaign? I want to start with our chair. If you don't mind, please, you could open up for us with that. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think one of the really exciting things about the African market is just how fast it's growing at the moment. It's become quite a growth epicenter. The market in Africa is expected to grow to, well, it's really heading towards a valuation of around 80 billion by 2029. So it just gives you a sense of quite how important the African communications market is. I would say when it comes to putting winning campaigns together, there are 6 key themes that you want to be thinking about. The first of which is global ambition and local nuance, really making sure that that you're thinking about the audiences that you're looking to reach, because obviously everything from a digital perspective is now visible everywhere, especially if it's done in an English language first perspective. And so if you can design campaigns with global appeal and tie into international narratives while highlighting local relevance, I think that's going to really work out. The second of which is data-driven measurements. I think more than ever, we're having to move away from vanity metrics, which I think an awful lot of organizations have hung on to for far too long, and now to focus more and more on the Barcelona principles, which obviously have been worked on for a number of years now, and they're in their 3rd iteration. And so really moving away from outputs to outcomes, and then from outcomes to impact. I think that's really of paramount importance. I would also ask you all to think about tech-enabled storytelling. Clearly, 5G and digital platforms are now allowing rapid, immersive rollout. And so to think about integrated geo-targeting mobile content, real-time videos and audience feedback loops in the communications programs that you're putting together to ensure that there's not only an opportunity to spread your message, but to create engagement, and then again, to be able to measure that impact. Beyond that, I would ask you to think about cross-generational alignment. For the first time in, I think in a very, very long time, we're now finding ourselves in a situation where we have 5 different generations in the workplace. And so there's an awful lot of different types of behaviors, different types of priorities that are coming into play. And so as we're thinking about how we engage with our different audiences, we need to think about not only their interests, but also their kind of socioeconomic and indeed kind of different chronological insights. I would also encourage you to think about ethics and trust. Global standards and communications commitments are really elevating our profession. And that's one of the things that obviously the PRCA has been working very strongly on for a number of years. We now represent 82 countries and 35,000 professionals across the world. And so we've got an awful lot of really interesting and relevant ongoing benchmark studies that all of you can lean into, that will allow you to give you some meaningful benchmark information to see really what ethics and trust implications look like that you can feed into your campaigns. And beyond that, it's global visibility and recognition, really making sure as well. I think at the moment, it's interesting to note that I would say that the African nation is probably least represented when it comes to international award. And the PRCA itself has a platinum program that I would encourage you all to be part of. But I think what's interesting there is it ensures that we can demonstrate just how powerful and just how much impact the amazing creative work that's coming out of Africa and the impact that that's having, that the rest of the world can learn from, quite frankly. So it would be great to see more of that on the global stage.
All right, thank you so much for that great context and great start there. The 6 ingredients that we see for a great PR campaign. And I know my panelists, probably you look through the 6 and see if there's any other additional thing that you may want to have. So I want to still throw it in here. And let me come to you, Francis, if you don't mind, you could share any other that you may have as well that could build on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think, having led communications from a country perspective, a regional perspective, and now global, I think the principles and foundations remain the same. I think nuance is where things really come into play, especially when we consider where we are, the context of Africa. So to simplify it, I think there are 4 key ingredients, which there's slight overlaps with what Kirsty has shared. But I really like this framing because I think it speaks to the foundations. But at the same time, within those foundations, you can then apply local insight, context to then inform how best you deliver your PR campaign. So the first being insight, right? So Kirsty's spoken about research, data, and how do we leverage data now in ways in which are way more cost effective, right? So AI can give you a snapshot of message testing, etc. So there are ways in which we are able to now leverage insight to inform a really solid PR strategy, right? I think the foundation and the basis of any successful and winning PR campaign has to be anchored in a strong, clear strategy that then informs what your key messages are and then what channels you're deploying. So that's the first. I think the second has to be around impact, right? And impact is twofold. Impact in delivering against the objectives, the strategy which you set for yourself. I think that has to be the real key way in which we win in PR. It's not to create the most creative work, but work that's in service of achieving our objectives and that strategy. The third, which I think is important, is relevance. And this is where, again, the African context has to play. Is your PR campaign relevant to your audience, community, country, region in which you're operating in? So that relevance piece, I think, is critical in how that PR campaign comes to life. And this really applies to any geography, any country. It has to be relevant. And then finally, I think, just to conclude, it has to be resonant, right? And this is where the way in which you fuse creativity, you think through your objectives and how best to achieve your objectives, how best to reach your audience and your target audience. It has to be resonant, right? And resonance can take shape, form in many different ways. Is it emotive storytelling? Is it resonance to the local context and relevance? So for me, those are kind of the 4 foundational principles, which again, I think apply across the world. I've used those as things that anchor how do we design successful winning PR strategies. We have to deliver against the strategy and the goals. So that's primarily the key. And, of course, insight, making sure that it's relevant and it resonates.
Lovely. I love that contextualization as well. Emma, do you want to pick it from there? Any other thing that you may feel you may add on that?
Yes, totally agree with what both St. Francis and Kirsty has said. But for me, it's more about audience resonation. I love campaigns, and a good campaign can be felt already. Yeah. And it's one that, and nowadays we've moved beyond visibility. We want campaigns that are impactful. We want campaigns that influence behavior. We want campaigns that change perceptions. And at the center of this all is, does it resonate with the audience or not? So for me, that's the key ingredient, resonating with the audience.
Resonating with the audience. Awesome. That's another additional one, amazing one. So let's go to you, Oliver. Any other thing that you feel we need to add there?
So for, for me, I believe that as everyone has said, it boils down to clarity. It's all about, are you clear about everything that you're doing? And this clarity, you draw it from research, for instance. You have to know the audience. Who are you targeting? Will they actually receive this message? And then you also have to define clear objectives of why we are doing this. Then you have to have the big idea. Any campaign must start from somewhere. And that big idea is what will drive that campaign. Whatever form of storytelling that you decide to adopt for your campaign falls on that big idea. And once you define your audience, your big idea, now you can narrow down to the nitty-gritties of who do I need? Do I need influencers? Do I just need a press release? And how do I shape this press release for the various channels? Because one size does not fit all when it comes to effective and winning campaigns.
Absolutely, and you're right. One size may not fit all. Sometimes even with our continental differences, sometimes we may find out this one works there. We've had those discussions in the last panels where we are saying you have to come and try contextualize and understanding the audience in which you're doing this with. Now, moving on, I feel like we need to bring this conversation a bit to some reality. And I would like you, as professionals in your own field, to give us an example, one, in very quickly, not more than 60 seconds of telling us, one campaign that you looked at and said, this one, they got it, it's so good. Wherever you were, whichever context you're going to give us, one campaign that you say and say, this one's got the principles right. Who wants to go first? Maybe Francis can start us off in this. Yep.
I was trying to think that there are quite a few, but in the interest of time, I'll pick one. So many of you should know, might be familiar with the brand BIC. So it's a pen. And they have a social initiative called Change Starts with One. And so part of what they wanted to do was to create awareness. And a very simple concept and idea, but I think the delivery of it was good in many particular ways. And I think it definitely over-delivered in terms of what the objectives were. So they partnered with, this is 2024, so last year, a South African agency, Retroviral, did this work for BIC, and they partnered with a Paralympian, so just before the Paris Games, Mpumelelo Mhlongo, who's a South African Paralympian, and just through branded content told his story, right? And so leveraging somebody's story to essentially then make the connection of change starts with one, right? So quite a strong emotive anchoring in terms of the campaign idea. What they did, which I thought was actually really good, was one, that branded content worked, right? I think there was a stat that I saw that said around 86% of consumers resonate more with branded content versus adverts, right? So I think we know the power of storytelling. We know that stories are emotive and powerful. But what they did is that they changed their timing, right? So this campaign was supposed to start in November, and they decided, because Mpumelelo, who was the protagonist of the story, was the flag bearer for South Africa, they decided to then bring it forward in terms of launching this campaign. So simultaneously, what they did is that they made him the spokesperson for the campaign. So instead of having a big executive that had the actual protagonist, it was timely. The Paris Olympics, we love good inspirational stories. And then they also tied it into traditional media pitching while the branded content was really gaining virality online. And then ultimately what they then did was connected that to the social initiative where there was a donation drive, which did incredibly well. So I think there are a few things that I liked. It was branded content. It was incredibly cost effective in terms of how they executed. The creativity was in realizing that actually the story of the protagonist is all that we need. We don't need to go any bigger or, pyrotechnics. Let's just keep it to humane, human-centric storytelling. And I absolutely love that. So, I could go on and on and on, but ultimately that campaign I thought was simple, it was cost effective, and it delivered incredible results through nimble, quick agility and decision-making.
Okay. There's a joke that goes around here in Kenya that the big brand doesn't change. I mean, the pen looks the same as 1960. I don't know. Well, whatever they're doing, they must get it. They're getting it right, right? Emma, I want you to go next. One that you can say, wow, this one's got it right.
Okay, I have one that I'm particularly proud of because it generated from our office. So there's a company in Ghana called Casapreco Company Limited. For those who know Casapreco, they are an alcoholic brand. So they've been producing alcohol all these years, and they say we want to add water to the market. And you know, in any country, there's so many different types of water. So they needed, in introducing their water brand, to come up with something creative. And so the water brand is called Awake, and the campaign is called One for Life. So the campaign was in such a way that every one bottle of Awake could change a life, because 10 pesewas would go to the cardiothoracic unit at Kolebu, the equivalent of Kenyatta, to treat cardiothoracic patients. So there was a reason and there was impact. So every quarter what we did was, after buying all this Awake, you would go to the cardiothoracic center and you would donate the equivalent of how many bottles of Awake have been bought. And of course, as a company, they would add a little bit more. And then on year 3, what they did is we got testimonies for all these children who had been, and families and parents whose lives had been changed because of Awake.
I love it.
And for me, I'm particularly proud because we did it. And also, you know where your money is going to. And if there's one water brand I will always drink, it's Awake, because of that campaign, One for Life.
That's interesting. Wow. I like the example is what you did first. It's a beer going to water. Probably here in Kenya would have started thinking maybe this water has some portion of beer in it. Anyway, Christy, let me come to you. One that still sticks to mind, or you can say this ones, they got it right, especially from your recipe of 6 ingredients. Any that you feel these ones, they got it right.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think there's so many wonderful examples out there. I think if you start breaking it down as well, it's really where I think those that stand out for me are those that balance creativity with strategy and campaign design. So the creativity wins the attention, but it's the strategy that sustains it. The creative ideas are rooted in research. And in the framework, there's something in there that kind of works with head, heart, habit. So head, evidence-based research, which I think we've all kind of touched on, heart, emotional resonance storytelling, and habit, behavioral design for sustainable action, kind of building that forward. I think, there's been an amazing, and this is a campaign that's been running for a number of years, and that's Dub's Real Beauty campaign. I think what's really exciting about that is, in some ways, it's so simple and so obvious. However, it is a huge undertaking that they've brought on over the last few years. And what's been the most high impact is they have stuck at it. So the Dove Real Beauty campaign really was about fundamentally representation. It was making sure that all bodies were seen as beautiful bodies, and that everybody can appreciate and love the bodies that they occupy. So taking that a few steps further, what they decided to do is that they worked with a number of organizations that where a lot of us go to find stock images, and they moved those stock images from very kind of model-esque views of what a beautiful body looks like, and instead represented all sorts of shapes and sizes, different skin conditions, different heights, different people. But it was a real celebration of skin and loving the skin you're in. And they have stuck at this for years and years and years now. And they keep introducing new iterations of what that means. And so that has actually moved on from being a campaign to being a movement. But the way that they've approached it, it's hugely inclusive, not only inclusive in terms of the body types, but inclusive in terms of the access to the imagery and the way that all of us as marketeers and communicators can better integrate DE&I and inclusion into all of our campaigns. So I think that has been phenomenal. And this campaign over the last couple of years has spread to 110 countries with billions and billions of impressions. So yes, a hugely, hugely impactful campaign that has become something of a global movement. So hats off to Dove.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Inclusivity being a very key component. Oliver, you have the final word now.
I've been trying to think of a local one, but I'm stuck because there are quite a number. But I think for me, one that really resonates with me as a campaign that actually had a lot of impact is the campaign that we've seen NCBA run today, where they are telling people that you can actually achieve anything that you want, and bring people into rooms where they can be able to discuss what you can do. You know, they go for it. Yeah. So if you want to be a golfer, go for it. If you want to be a musician, go for it. So you find that this campaign is letting people exploit what they love the most. Yeah. So, for instance, just the last week they launched Elevate, which is about upcoming musicians with one of the biggest producers in the country. I was privileged to do media training for those artists because we have been the ones who have been running the campaign. And for me, that kind of impact where you're giving people avenues to be able to achieve what they really want to do is something that, for me, works very well if we are to create campaigns that are having an impact on people.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to shoot this to the south, if I may use that. That's to Francis. You know, beyond what we can say media coverage, yesterday we were talking about some of the ways in which people measure great campaigns, beyond media coverage, beyond the metrics that we can talk about, like impressions and reach. We had a whole panel previously of influencers, and we were really talking about how they can help in getting these impressions and reach and all that. How do you measure real impact of PR campaigns so that at least the question of ROI, you know, and accountability is well answered? Because we had a debate yesterday, why are PR professionals not on the decision table? Because sometimes the ROI is immeasurable in a way. So let me come to you, Francis. What would you say about measuring the real impact of PR campaigns? Your quick thoughts.
Yeah, you know, I think it goes back to my earlier point. I think the first point I made around, you know, successful PR campaigns are anchored in strong strategy and being clear. I think Oliver said that, you know, the clarity in your objectives. So, you know, if you're looking for awareness, then of course you want maximum reach. So I really think it's dependent on what the objectives are. You know, are you trying to shape narratives or policy, you know, and your PR campaign is geared towards that. So I think the clarity in, you know, objectives, landing your key messages, making sure that those resonate and they stick is important. Of course, I think what we want as communicators and PR practitioners is you want that viral moment or that moment that shapes culture. Of course, I think those are aspirational. We should endeavor for that. But I think more importantly for me, it's always around how do you assess the success of a campaign as have you managed to deliver your objectives. The other thing which I think is often forgotten in the conversation is around efficient delivery of PR campaigns, right? So are you really maximizing your bang for buck and trying to get as much impact out of that, stretching it? And so I think that's also an indicator of success, which I look at. I'm very passionate about how do we deliver amazing creative work that is cost efficient. And because the reality is, just to conclude, budgets are getting a bit tighter, and certainly in the corporate space, corporate affairs or PR is usually where you start to cut, and marketing still enjoys the generating demand because they can tangibly prove that. And so I think it is around delivering and socializing the business as well in terms of these are the objectives, this is what success looks like. So it really depends on what those objectives are.
All right. So based on objectives, I like that. I don't know. I want to throw it open to my panelists. Anybody else who has something that you can say and contribute into, effective ways in which you can say, yes, this is successful.
I mean, I would like to just maybe add that something pseudo-controversial here. I think everything is everything that we do is measurable, but you have to. But as St. Francis quite rightly points out, you have to start with the end in mind. What is it that you're measuring? What is the purpose of the activity of the campaign that you're undertaking? Is it to engage the investor community? In which case, start looking at valuation. Is it to change people's minds? In which case, make sure that you've got the infrastructure in place to understand where you currently stand from a brand preference and about a brand engagement perspective, and then run your campaign and remeasure again. So again, I think everything is wholly measurable, but start with the end in mind and then work backwards within that. I would say that's something that we could, with all of the digital tools that we have available to us now, there's a whole host of things that we're looking to do. Our jobs as communicators is not to make a noise, it's to make a difference. And so let's really think about what it is that we're trying to do. To St. Francis's point is, are we trying to change policy? Are we trying to change people's mind? Are we trying to initiate anger and complaints? Are we trying to create sales preference? Are we trying to win people over to a new idea? So the way that you approach all of these activities is quite different. But the measurement, the underlying measurement exists for all of these pieces, but you have to start with that understanding of what is the behavioral response that you're looking for from your audiences, and put the measurement in place to deliver that. I think, just kind of closing, just thinking a little bit more about what we're trying to do here. We've talked a lot about what makes a successful campaign. Perhaps I can just throw that on its head somewhat and think, okay, well, what are the mistakes that tend to weaken what should be otherwise strong campaigns? Sure. And that's copying and pasting global templates. We've talked a lot about really understand your brand, make sure that you're doing your homework, and you have that insight and strategy that's going to enable a brand specific activation and campaign. So don't copy and paste from what's worked elsewhere. Make it specific to your brand and to your audience. Don't over-index the outputs. Outputs are great, and that's something that we can measure. But instead, let's focus on the outcomes, the behavioral change, the policy influence that we've talked about. Please don't neglect evaluation. Relying on vanity matrix like AVE is not going to get you anywhere. So again, coming back to what is the end goal, and put the infrastructure in place to make sure that you're measuring that. Do not underestimate trust. The Edelman's Trust Barometer that's been running for an awful long time now, decades indeed, is now showing that 71% of global consumers expect brands to act on social issues. So weak campaigns often ignore this responsibility, and there's an expectation that the brands that you believe in, the brands that you put your money into, the brands that you're loyal to, have a responsibility beyond just serving your most immediate needs. So think about those pieces as well.
No, I love that. In fact, you just brought in the question that I wanted to talk about on the common mistakes that people do when it comes to making or crafting PR campaigns. and what to do to avoid them. Thanks for that. I don't know whether we can see some other additional ones. Oliver, do you have some other ones that you have seen? People making mistakes and saying, oh no, you could have done better.
Yeah, I think the first mistake is that people forget that any campaign, any PR campaign starts before the first word is written.
Ooh, okay.
So the idea that you have to do this campaign is where the first mistake comes from. And if you are not clear about what that idea is, you end up not being able to achieve it. And think about it this way. You have a campaign, you have a client who needs you to deliver this campaign that is social change, for instance, yeah? But you are in an environment where, for instance, the things that you are talking about are not priorities to the communities that you are targeting. And so from the word go, you've got it wrong. But because at times as communication experts, we decide to sit back and allow the client to go ahead with an idea that we know won't work. The client ends up failing and we end up failing as well, yeah? Because we don't know how to push back. Most of the times as communicators, we are very diplomatic, which is very dangerous for any campaign. And so for me, you have to push back when necessary. Secondly, you have to avoid the mistake of thinking that you have answers to everything. Bring people in the room.
Right. Okay. You're not the genius. Okay, I like that. Emma, you have something to add on that before we move on?
Yes, just two things. One,
Yeah.
audience research. If you don't do the research of what your audience needs, then you'll be shooting blindly. So Oliver touched on it a little bit. He mentioned if, let's say, for example, you really, really want to put boreholes everywhere as part of your campaign strategy, but you go to this community and what they need the most is desks for students. So without doing the audience research, you'll be doing the wrong thing, right? Another thing is over-promising. I think we get excited during campaigns and we make all these many promises that sometimes we fail to deliver, and then that just makes things go haywire.
All
so
right.
those two things.
Okay. Let me, before I
If
come
I
into
could,
my last round. Oh,
sorry,
yeah. Please go ahead.
Just one, sorry. I think I'll try to be quick. I think oftentimes one of the mistakes that both in-house teams and agency teams is that you try and chase the hero moment, right? You really try and, let's break the barriers. Let's go for something that's going to be viral. And actually, I think some of the most effective PR campaigns had very little creativity, right? If you think about Bell Pottinger, the famous case, that's also a separate topic on ethics. Very simple, right? They just decided to use a hashtag and go on social media and shape that agenda. So I think it's really, really important that, again, you stay true to your objectives. Certain PR campaigns don't have to be viral, cultural, iconic moments in communication. So I think at times it then becomes inauthentic when brands are trying to be what they're not, or what the moment requires of them from either execution or campaign design.
Thank you so much for that. Let me just read a comment from the audience. Someone is saying that a critical ingredient is having key insights of the target audiences, the basic thing that drives consumer behavior. And I think my panelists have alluded to that. Another one is saying this: over-reliance on figures at the expense of the emotional connection can affect campaigns. Get an emotional connection before the figures. I love that. Thanks so much for the contributions. I think we have a lot of people who have done some successful campaigns here. Thank you for the contributions. Feel free to ask as well any question you have. I'm about to dive in there. But before then, I want to throw this to my panelists. Very quick answers here. What's the most In fact, let's just use this word. When the budgets are tight, because we noticed one of the key challenges. In the morning, I asked the challenges that PR practitioners face, and there was a budgets took the day. You noticed it was the bold one. Eh? So when the budgets are tight, what is the one thing you should never compromise on a PR campaign? You know, this organization has said, we must achieve this, but this is the budget. That one thing you say, you cannot compromise on this. I see Francis is smiling, so you have the answer. Start.
I'm smiling because that's such a challenging question. So again, I might sound like I'm not answering the question, but just bear with me and I'll try to be quick. I think, again, when there is a need and there's resource constraint, I think that's usually the perfect recipe for creativity, to really think outside the box in terms of we're clear that this is what we want to achieve. This is the budget with which we have, and how can we still deliver against those objectives? So I found in situations like that probably some of the best work my team and I, in partnership with agencies, have done is actually in that situation where it's so easy to just go, influencers, and you've got big budgets and you can create, amazing content, and at times actually keeping the authenticity of what it is that we would like to deliver from a messaging perspective, I think is probably the one thing we've been successful in keeping true. And I think that's been the difference, right? We've been really true to what we're trying to achieve. And that tension actually, I think, hasn't always worked. Let me be perfectly honest. We've had campaigns that have under-delivered just because we didn't have the requisite investment to deliver some of those lofty goals. But in certain instances, I think we've managed to do that with, outside of the box thinking, and, because it's just what it is and there's no work.
No, I love that. What you've done, Francis, is that you've given time to my other panelists to think about the one thing, which is good. But I think we got yours, thinking outside the box and creativity. I think that's it. So I think, Christy, you go next. What's that one thing in you that is top of mind that you say, no, you can't compromise on this?
I think you need to stay focused to the why. Why are you doing it? And to make a difference. I would kind of, again, slightly change the question, if I may, a little bit. Such a PR person, don't answer the question, ABC. However, I would say that when it comes down to budget constraints, integrate. So today, campaigns don't exist in silos. The most impactful campaigns most certainly don't exist in silos. PR is the most powerful when it works hand in hand with content marketing, with social media, with influence activity, with paid advertising. This creates a single cohesive brand presence rather than fragmented messaging. Excuse me, pardon me. PR builds the credibility and the earned attention. Content marketing nurtures the audiences with depth and thoughtful leadership. Social media amplifies reach and allows real-time engagement. Advertising drives scale and frequency, ensuring the story cuts through. So together, this creates a multiplier effect of kind of 1 + 1 equals potentially 5. So I think, again, especially when you come under pressure for budgets, then integrate.
All right. Integrate. Oliver, I was really hoping I would get one sentence answers, but these are PR practitioners. They have to give us context, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think I agree totally with Christine and Franz that you need to be creative in the way that you manage budgets. I never say that you cannot do a campaign because the budget is tight. It's all about how well can we use what we have to achieve the goal, because we can't compromise on the goal, we can't compromise on the message that we need to put out there.
Okay.
So, but we can actually decide that instead of using an influencer who is charging 500K, I can use one charging 200K.
Okay.
and still get the same impact.
So do what you can with what you have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Emma, what's your uncompromisable
One sentence,
Yes.
okay. What's my one sentence?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to use owned media. That's it. Just, I mean, you have it, it's accessible to you.
Yes.
You don't have to spend so much on money you don't have, and you have owned media. So use it.
Okay. So we're going to shoot the last round here, and I think I'm starting with you, Emma. One of the questions is, and I have heard Kirsty bring it in, what emerging trends, we're talking about AI, storytelling, influencer integration, all that, will define winning campaigns, in your opinion, in the next 5 years, for example? Which one is that for you that you're saying, wow, this one?
Emerging trends for
Yes.
the next 5 years. Influencer marketing for sure.
Okay.
I think it still has a long way to go, and I love how it's growing. Use of AI as well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, right now, campaigns, you can do a video,
Yeah.
and you don't have to, again, if your budget is low, you can use AI tools to do videos. So influencer marketing, use of AI, and I would say authenticity.
All right. A lot of conversations we were having about yesterday here. Chris, let me come to you. This is your question because you mentioned, you touched on it. There's a whole nexus that we're talking about when it comes to traditional media and everything else. And I wanted to ask you, how should brands adopt their campaign strategies for digital-first audiences and without losing the traditional PR strengths? Because sometimes we lose that in the process.
So, being a little bit of a kind of an older individual who's been doing this for a long time, I would say that public relations means building
Recording stopped.
with your publics, be that direct or indirect. And so somewhere along the line, traditional PR started to be seen as only earned and in some horrible situations, just press releases. That is not the case. It has never been what public relations is about. So use all the tools that are available to us, but integration of all of the different tools, everything within the PESO model is the bridge that turns a campaign from a story into a strategy.
All right. Lovely, lovely. Francis, I have a question for you here. What role does creativity and cultural insight, you talked about being creative a lot, but now I also want you to major on, because we are in Africa, we're also talking about Africa, and we want to help ourselves go global. What role does creativity and cultural insight play in making campaigns resonate on how you balance data-driven decision making? What would you say on that?
Yeah, I think it plays a fundamental and important role. If you think about campaigns that have been really successful, I think that understanding of local nuance, that understanding of what appeals to the audience, and that's usually very much at the center of the cultural insights that you would mine in those campaigns, and also in truth, as PR practitioners, if you're if you keep your finger on the pulse, you can gauge a sense of this is likely to be, and that's where, of course, data and validating that becomes super important, because at times we think that's going to resonate, but actually doesn't. So I think creativity plays an important role. The one thing I do want to mention, though, is that oftentimes you would hear people refer to Africa as this monolith. We're not, right? I think we just are so rich in diversity. And how do you then leverage that diversity to make sense and to be relevant and to resonate in different regions within Africa? So I always think, that there will be different ways of expression and bringing that creativity to life in a PR campaign, and that is dependent on the region as well. So I think absolutely we want to be culturally relevant and I think not tone deaf as well, which can at times happen with brands that make assumptions and don't really understand the cultural insights and nuances.
Okay, thank you. And Oliver, the one quick question for you is, how important is timing in campaign success? Is it really anything that matters for us to have winning PR campaigns?
Yeah, timing matters.
Okay.
You can't do your 25th anniversary on your 24th year. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so timing matters. You also have to look at the environment, for instance, that you are in. For instance, imagine you've been forced to launch a campaign during Maandamano in Kenya. Yeah? So timing definitely matters, and you have to also, as I said from the word go, that clarity is very important from the planning stage. And when you're planning, you have to look at what kind of timing are we looking at? How are we looking to launch this? And when are we trying to launch it? Because, for instance, if you tried to launch anything last week in Kenya, or the last couple of weeks when everyone was focused on the Chan, and it's not related to Chan, you would actually lose it. So timing is everything.
Hey, my people. I think there's a lot of digestion happening here. I'm seeing a lot of quotes. There are no questions here. I think these quotes, a lot of people just agreeing with you. So I want to end this panel by asking us to create, my panelists, let's create a billboard for everybody here. So that billboard will be talking to everybody who has come here. They are practitioners. And we want to write to them that for you to have a winning PR campaign for your brand, you must fill up that billboard sentence. That's okay? So we have created it. It's virtual. It's up here. It's there. Who wants to go first? Oliver, you have been always the last in this conversation. You start. For you to create a winning PR campaign for brands, you must do what?
Your job is not to be the loudest, but the most compelling.
Hey, okay. That sentence is complicated, but it's a good one. You got it? Yes, that your job is not to be the loudest, but the most compelling. Emma, do you want to go next?
You must partner creativity with strategy.
You must partner creativity with strategy. All right. Now, on my panelist virtually, Francis, probably you might give us this. And by the way, it's quite interesting, Francis, that you have a saint part of the word. So that's part of it, is it? So Saint Francis, let's go.
Listen and speak to the heart.
Listen and speak to the heart. Okay. So, Christy, you have the final word. Hammer it home.
Okay, well, I'm trying to think of something that builds on this. I think I'm going to go back to the point I made earlier. Integration is the bridge that turns a campaign from a story into a strategy.
Whoa, integration is our word today. Thank you so much, my panelists. Let's appreciate them with a clap. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful conversation. And I want us to take a picture. So my panelists, especially the ones in virtual, so still remain right there. I'm going to ask my other panelists to walk close to the screen so that somehow that picture will have all of you in. And Mary, please, if you don't mind, please come here to kindly come. Mary, today you're not in red, you're in gold. So please come. Let's golden this picture. And thank you for participating. And I hope after this, ladies and gentlemen, you got something to start making winning campaigns. That was a masterclass. Just one more step a bit this way. We want them to be part and parcel of it. And maybe I hope they can see what we are doing, Annette. I hope they can see from that end. All right? Are they at the center? Are they at the center? Are they at the center? Yeah. We want them to be part of it. So move on one more time. Oliver, yeah, there you go. Yes, they were there. All right, good. Oh, sorry, I was the moderator. Just check it out. 3 to go. Excellent. By the way, I hope the panelists online, Christy and St. Francis, I hope you were smiling. Oh yeah, at least we can see the smiles. Thank you so much once again. Let's appreciate them one more time. Asanteni sana. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you and bye-bye. Excellent. Just keep the music going. I wanted to tell you when to pause it as I get my notes ready. We want to get to the last panel of the day. Excellent. Thank you, DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, the power of collaboration. The power of collaboration, building stronger PR networks in Africa. We're talking about moving our brands all the way up. And so I want to request that we have the panelists coming up here. And I can see that probably we may need one extra seat. I am not sure, but I will check. Lawrence Gikaru, the founder and MD of Apex Porto Novelli, is here. Please put your hands together for Lawrence as he comes. Thank you so much, sir. Please come up. And even as Lawrence is coming, may I request the team to kindly change the water set so that at least my panelists can have fresh water for themselves. There you go. Also joining in is Perpetual Kendi, the Chief Executive at Addlestone Public Relations. Perpetual, please come up here. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Perpetual. Karibu Sana. And I believe Guntram Kaiser, founder of Kaiser Communications in Germany, will be joining us virtually, just checking in, so that at least we can do this. Excellent. The power of collaboration building stronger PR networks in Africa. Welcome, welcome, my panelists. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DJ, as well, for that. Great. And I can see we are getting set here, ready to go. Lovely, lovely. Collaborations. That's the conversation today, the power of collaboration, building stronger PR networks in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to this last panel, I'd like us to remember we can always engage. We can engage on our Slido. I like the comments that were coming in by some of you. Some of you as well are asking questions. Feel free to do that. It helps to enrich this conversation. My panelists, welcome. I'd like you to just introduce yourself very quickly in about a minute or so, and what you do. And maybe I should start with Guntram Kaiser, if you don't mind. Please introduce yourself and let the people know what you do. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello to everybody. It's a pleasure to be with us, and I have been following the discussions the whole morning. So it's really very, very, very interesting. So congratulations to the organizers. My name is Guntram Kaiser, and I thank the moderator for pronouncing my first name properly. Usually the English speaking, they call it Guntram or something like that. You see, the really a well-prepared moderator. I've been in this business for more than 30 years. First, I stayed around about 12 years with the international PR company Weber Shandwick. And then in 2003, I founded my own company based in Berlin, but serving very different international clients in the first instance. In business to business, mainly corporate and issues management. I'm a member of the Special Advisory Committee of the World Communication Forum Association Davos. And I may say here that I also have quite close links to Africa. I studied African science when I was a student. I was based for half a year each in Namibia and in Ethiopia, and I even learned the Amharic language. So nice talent to those participants who may come from Ethiopia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guntram, for that. Let me come to my panelists live here. Perpetual, I may start with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so hi, everyone. First of all, it's so intimidating being in front of everyone here. Very respectable publicists, and I'm so grateful for the invitation to be here today. So my name is Kendi Perpetual, and I'm a corporate publicist. Started Addlestone Public Relations 11 years ago. About 4 or 5 years ago, moved to South Africa and started off the same agency. And so it's quite an honor and very excited to have this conversation today, because it's only through collaborations that we've been able to sort of like have a footing in South Africa. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that conversation. And our specialty is mostly financial technology and non-governmental organizations.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. Mike is on you now. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much, moderator. My name's Lawrence Gikaru. I won't talk a lot about myself, because I believe that there is a summary in the program. I'm the founder and I'm managing director of Apex Porta Novelli. And Apex Porta Novelli is a Kenyan company. We are a global partner of Porta Novelli. Porta Novelli is an American global firm which is headquartered in New York with offices in more than 60 countries. And we are a partner for Porta Novelli in this territory. I have run the agency now for 20 years, but I've been in the industry in communication for more than 30 years. And I like saying that I went into communication by design. I was a science student. I had studied science. And then the interest, what drove me into communications is because I wanted to be the bridge between the scientist and the public. And I have worked in the field of public health and in other areas in different countries, in the US, in Kenya here, and within the East African region. So thank you very much to the organizers for inviting me, and I don't know for what reason that you chose this panel to talk about collaboration in Africa, but thank you very much for that, yes.
Excellent.
And we are looking forward to a conversation with this a very distinguished audience.
Excellent. In fact, in your introduction, you are right fit for this panel because we want to know how you managed to get all these collaborations happening. But let me go to Guntram first. And Guntram, when we are talking about, the power of collaboration, one of the key things that people here would do, we have a lot of PR practitioners who are in this hall now, and they are drawn from more than 10 countries seated here today. And we are talking about collaboration. And so we don't want people to just, share their business cards and that's it and it ends there. So what does true collaboration from your end in PR look like beyond just that sharing of contacts? And how can we make it mutually beneficial for all parties? In your own thoughts, Guntram.
Yeah, you see, this topic is, of course, very, very wide, and we are talking about collaboration in Africa. Though I could actually come back to Lauren's question for what reason I'm here, but I can, of course, share with you a little bit the experience here in our place in Germany. But it was correctly what was said in one statement in the previous section, that don't think you have answers to everything. You don't have, and even artificial intelligence does not have. So therefore, it is from my point of view very, very important to listen to others, to exchange views with others, to respect others' opinions, to use others' opinions. It can happen that the youngest person in the team has the best idea, so use it. Don't look at this person as as a starter, and then you can achieve some impact. Of course, this collaboration team has different layers. It starts with the internal communication, then it is a communication with other agencies. We were talking about integrated communication, so you talk with advertising agencies, you talk to the client, you interact with the client, and you interact with other stakeholders. So I think it is very important to exchange, to be willing to exchange, to start exchanging in early years, to trust, to be open, to listen, and not to insist on your own opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guntram, for that. And Perpetua, let me bring you in as well. We're talking about the power of collaboration. When you even got this topic as well, what came to mind? What came to mind that I'm going to tell all the practitioners here? This is what I believe is the power of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I'd love to talk about like the case studies and what we've done or sort of like executed over a period of time in different markets, in different regions, so that you can also be able to see how you can implement that in the area that you're in. So I would love to talk about, first of all, in the collaboration, like if, for example, if you're in an agency or in a corporate setup. So in an agency setup, I'd say, for example, we did have a long-time customer who had they're all over the world, right? And so we were sort of like in charge of East Africa. And for so long, we used to, East Africa is managed remotely, West Africa, South Africa. And we had this new global communications who came in and said, listen, Africa, we talk one language. So we need all the agencies to be doing presentations at the same time once a month, right? So what this did is, right before the D-Day for the presentation, you see that each agency is speaking to the other agency. And we sort of like really started being integrated between agency and 3 different agencies working together for one customer. So what this did over a period of time, that was like 2022, right? 2020, right? And when we were just planning of, expanding to South Africa, the first people that we reached out is a South African agency that we collaborate on for this customer. And we said, listen, we do have an opportunity to move here, but we don't have a lot of experience. So other than us going, setting up, doing hires and all that, the first thing we did is did a collaboration with a local agency in South Africa. So these people already had networks, they already had, the only thing that we had is a customer, right? So we went and did just a remote setup of an office, but then this PR agency would do weekly meetings for this new customer. So from that, we were able to have a project report on what we can do for South Africa, but we were not the ones who were doing the actual implementation of the work. So by the time we were done with the first year, second year, we had a bit of projects that we had done, and so we were able to get in new customers for this new market, but that was purely out of collaboration. Come this year, for the same customer, I think sometime in April, the office in France said, Africa is over-executing, so it's either we are giving them lower targets as a continent, or they're just, because as a voice, how you share how you're able to see the share of voice of your brand, right? Africa was doing way better than many other continents. And so in a meeting, we said, you see, Africa, we work as one agency, even if we have 3 agencies in the continent. Number 2, we're able to leverage which agency is best in executing what for this customer. So for example, in Kenya, doing PR, media relations is like what? Running marathon, it's intense. But in South Africa, they majorly rely on the networks that they have, and actually these networks get to publicize the work, because the flow down of the conversation is what's happening really in the media space. The African media, the South African media, the people in the media space are well paid, they're well taken care of. But then when you see with what has happened in our media space, so many of the journalists are really, there's a bit of a struggle there. So you find that when you look at these 2 markets, you, as a South African agency, trying to do the same thing you do in South Africa and Kenya, it's almost impossible. You need a Kenyan agency to actually push the job for you. And I know you guys know what I mean, in the sense of like just pushing it and getting it done. So those are 2 different markets. And so just understanding those 2 markets sort of like is able to give you an understanding of if a South African agency is to get some work, it's better for them to give a Kenyan agency to do that. And the same thing for West Africa, because Nigeria is on another ball game. So that's a bit about like agency to agency and how it translates.
To collaboration, I believe. Yes, thank you so much. Great context there. the power of togetherness and all that and what you can do to push that. Lawrence, I'm sure you also have your thoughts on this. You've seen it all for quite some years now, and you give a colorful story of how you have integrated some of this in different parts. What does it mean for you? Collaboration in PR, the power of it, beyond just sharing these contacts and the likes.
Thank you very much, moderator. With your permission, I'm going to try something different here.
Something different, yes.
Yeah,
Put the mic closer.
Because at heart, I'm an educator.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is that how many here have Chat GPT?
I think the question should have been how many don't have.
Can you put up your hand if you can access the Chat GPT right now?
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Good. I want to give you an assignment because what I have come to learn over the years is that whatever I'm talking about, I must base it on realities. So I rarely talk about concepts or things that are not tangible. So what I want us to do is that I want us to do an exercise. And I took the liberty of the second question that the moderator sent to us. And what a memorable collaboration you have seen succeed. And I'm going to talk about work that we have done because we have been around for quite some time. And I'm going to share the work that we have done with one of the clients that we had the fortune to work with over a period of 10 years. That is Unilever. And the work that we did with several countries in Africa. And what I'm going to do so that we can have the context, I'm going to read this. I hope that I'll be able to get across to you. I'm going to read the slowly. This is some work that we did with Unilever about, I think we worked with Unilever from 2011 up to 2021. This is what I want you to ask ChatGPT, because I'm going to base the lessons, the questions here from the moderator from that. Mm-hmm. Ask a GPT, this is a question I want her to ask a GPT. I hope it will connect with you. Can I start?
Yes, go ahead. They're ready.
Highlight for me the work Apex Porter Novelli did with Unilever Brad Lifebuoy and the results.
We are not fond of typing, so just take them slowly.
Okay.
Highlight for me the work.
Apex Porter Novelli.
Apex.
Porter Novelli.
Yeah.
Did with the Unilever Brad, Lifebuoy, and the results. Have you been able to get that?
Yeah.
I want to ground it on realities, and then after that we can talk to the questions that the moderator here has shared with us to reflect on.
All right, Lawrence, just one quick one so that they can get it. Yeah. Highlight for me the work Apex Porter Novelli did with Unilever on?
Unilever Brad Lifebuoy.
Okay.
And the results, yes.
Okay.
Have you been able to get that? Have you gotten the answers, the prompt, or the summary?
Oh yeah, personally here I have. I think they're the yeah. You have to tell us. Have you guys gotten a few? Excellent. I can see some hands there. Yes, they have. Would you like us to hear someone from?
Pardon? You have. Who hasn't?
Do not be afraid. It's okay. Just say you have it. Yes, I can see some hands. I can see some hands.
Who hasn't?
Yes.
Very well. I think I would like to use that as the context. So I want to go through it. But the key thing is that we started working with Unilever in 2011 And we got to work with Unilever because at that time, Unilever was launching a business philosophy for all their major brands. And the philosophy had two basic things, that every brand must deliver on a social impact, but it must also meet its commercial imperative. And we were fortunate to work with the Unilever during the very early stage, when it was led by the former CEO, Paul Polman. And if you look at the results there, you'll see that after the launch of the Lifebuoy brand here in Kenya, we were very lucky because we got some very, if you like, promising results within a very short time. And I want just to focus on the business results. I want to focus on the business results that we're able to deliver for the company. And within the year that we worked with Unilever, we were able to launch Lifebuoy into the market, embed it within the health ecosystem, because the social mission for Lifebuoy was tied to health and hygiene. But the most important thing is that that positioning of the social mission was designed to give the brand a competitive advantage against the other health soaps. Yeah. And that we were able to achieve within the year. The volumes grew by more than 200%, and the market share within the health category soap grew by 4%. And the Unilever became very interested because they had chosen 10 brands globally, and the objective was to make each of the 10 brands a $1 billion brand. And the market for Lifebuoy, because it was dealing with hygiene, was in the developing world. So based on that success, Unilever gave us a challenge, and they told us, through the same strategy that we have used here, we would like you to work with us to introduce this same brand in several African countries, and that was Nigeria, Uganda, Zambia, and Rwanda. So in terms of a collaboration moderator, I would like that to be the context. Excellent. Of what I'm going to talk about. Excellent. It was the introduction of the Lifebuoy brand within those markets in Africa. I'd like that is the context in which I'm going to talk about as we move along. Yes.
Lovely, and I love it because it's a perfect example of what we're really talking about. And we'd like to get some insights, especially on the experience that came out on it. I want us to move on quite first on another question here. How can PR professionals build stronger networks locally and globally? And I'm sure you also had to go down there in those countries when you're introducing Unilever, Lawrence, and you saw that. But let me start with you, Guten. If you don't mind, could you open for us with that, how we can build stronger networks locally and globally, if you don't mind? Please go ahead. Go ahead, Guthrum.
Yeah, of course, there is a huge number of opportunities. And what I suggest, especially young people, is to association of young professionals, which, for example, we have in Germany, the German Public Relations Association. It is comprised people, especially who start the career and can exchange their views. We have an association of the German press speakers. So they work in specialized groups according to the industries they are in and exchange their experience. We have of the biggest PR agencies. That is especially important to address the politicians and to voice out demands and requirements of the industry to, because you can networks and I think also to be that is also people should do in order to network and also to interact with other peoples coming from very, very different angles and backgrounds.
All
So
right.
the main message of what I was trying to say is use every opportunity that you have. Don't choose according to what you may think is the most beneficial at the moment. Networking is something you should build from wherever, whatever stage in your professional career you are in, and you should maintain and increase it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I want to come to my live panelists here. But before then, you know, we just had a 7-course meal. So, you know, afternoon sessions can be something. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to participate in this conversation. Hello. Look at people. This is when they have woken up. Excellent. Just checking up on you. Can we have that poll, please, tech team? There's a poll that I want us to participate in so we can transition into the challenges that we are facing. Could we have that up? So that at least it can be transitioned in. And the question, please check on your Slido. I think it's already up. Annette, if you don't mind, please put it up ASAP so that we can participate in that. What do you think is the biggest barrier to effective PR collaboration? I believe that should be it. It's coming up. There you go. Yeah, it's a poll. Yes. What do you think is the biggest barrier to effective PR collaboration in Africa? Guys, it's your turn. It's your turn. Tell us your thoughts. And then we can get from the live panelists here on how we can probably deal with these challenges that we see, you know, in terms of barriers to effective PR collaboration in Africa. As I told you, we are quite a number. So until we have some participation, we are not moving on until we do that. So far, only 3 persons have given me answers. So I need more. I need more. Make sure your neighbor is doing that. Make sure your neighbor is doing that. You know, we just came from a very heavy lunch, so we understand. We may not rush people here. But this is good. This is good. And as we're getting the results coming in, and I hope, Gutram, you can see the results streaming in. I hope you can see it from your end, because we are probably going to react to this on this end. There you go. So how many have, at least we have had over 10 participating in this. So a lot of people are saying what? One of the biggest barriers to effective PR collaboration in Africa is competition among agencies. And you mentioned a bit about that. People are competing cutthroat amongst themselves, undercutting. I've heard of such kind of things as well. You know, there was a war. It's quote unquote a war of agencies here in the country, because one of the richest companies had contracted one, but they thought they were going to win it. And so they had even taken the executives out on a tour just to tell them, you know, in a way to just pamper them so that at least they can get the business. And then when it came to the reality, they didn't get the business. And they even took those people to court. I don't know how you would even take people to court because there was no guarantee. But they spent a lot of money probably doing that. And I think the executives of that company decided to enjoy it. They have been invited. But hey, they knew they were not getting the business. But look at it. So there's a lot of competition amongst agencies. 52% of people say that's the biggest barrier to effective PR collaboration in Africa. Very close, I think it's limited cross-border networks. And this is where, Lawrence, you come in. Because you went across Africa, given a job by a multinational, to go across the borders here and do some work. So I think I want you to, based on these results and what people are saying here, what's your top of mind thoughts of this? You can pick any of the areas that we're talking about. Budget doesn't look like it's a problem here. Or trust is somewhere coming close. I think it's somewhere coming. But these two, I look at competition among agencies and limited cross-border networks. Lawrence, would you start us off by giving out top of mind what you think and how we can address this, especially on cross-border networks, because with your example, you've done that. You managed to do that. Please, take the mic. Give us some of your thoughts on how you did with this.
Okay, thank you very much. In terms of the biggest barrier to collaboration,
Yeah.
when we talk about limited cross-border networks, again, if I go back to the example that I referred to, and I also look at the work that we have done over the years.
Yeah.
Currently in our firm, we have about 3 clients that we are working with across several different countries in Africa. I would say that when it comes to limited cross-border networks, there is some truth in that. I want again to go back to what we did with Unilever in the 3 countries.
Yeah.
One of the key challenges that we had was that if you like, I would say, what is it called? Is it? I would say the practice of public relations as social science discipline. These markets were different.
Yeah.
Among the 4 countries, I think the country where we were able to work very, I would say, to get into the market very comfortably was Nigeria. We had a lot of work to do in Zambia and also in Rwanda. Uganda was, I would say, relatively easy to work with. So there is a truth in that.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we also found that worked during the example that I have given is because based on what we had been able to develop here, we had what I would call a playbook. We had a playbook. So we went to those markets with a playbook. So we did not start from zero. There were no false starts.
Yeah.
And based on that playbook, we were able to, if you like, fast track the work that Unilever had, or rather the work that we did with Unilever.
Yeah.
It did not all succeed. I think it did not all succeed, but that's another story.
Okay.
The thing about competition among agencies, I have a different view. I don't think the issue here is a competition. I have been in this business for a long time, and you may not agree with me, but what I think there is sometimes, if I look at where we are, if you look at the opportunities that there are, most of the time, what is lacking is the capability or the resourcefulness to be able to see problems from a different perspective. Okay. And offer solutions that clients are looking for. Okay. One of the key things that I keep saying, and it is something that we keep talking about in our agency, is that in this age of time, the most important for us to be able to succeed in this in communication, we have to be at the same wavelength with the clients that we work for. If we don't have a business conversation with a client in terms of the result that they are looking for, usually I know that that is a relationship that is not going to last for very long. Okay. So I would differ about competition, about agencies. And they say it is the problem is more internal among agencies. It is not the competition among agencies. It is the internal among ourselves.
Okay, great color to that. Perpetual, let me bring you in now. Pick up from anything that you saw there. What are your reactions? And, you know, Lawrence thinks that this is not an agency competition, but you have seen a few of the stories that have come up. What are your thoughts? I just don't want to preempt any answer from your end. What are your quick thoughts on this? Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'd start off with the market that I understand very well, which is perhaps Kenya. So Kenya is, because I'd say it's very competitive, and the competitiveness comes because of the number of PR agencies in the market. So, but why it works for us is because the rates of PR agencies in Kenya are significantly higher than other markets that we've perhaps done some work for. And I would say this with a lot of confidence because of the competition, simply because of the number of agencies in the market, right? When, for example, we look at the other market I'm in, and perhaps the collaboration that comes with the agencies I get to work with, is because the PR agencies are not as many, and because the media is very open to doing publicity they're very open to news, and they're very open to press releases, and it's an easier penetration of your content into media. The cost of doing publicity is significantly lower. And hence, the cost of PR agencies, whatever rate we give them, is somehow significantly lower. And hence, you find that if you're collaborating with agencies that, for example, in say now Porta Novelli, South Africa, you see if you're getting the business from Kenya and executing through collaboration in South Africa, you get to make a bit of profit off that, and you get the job done. If you're doing collaboration in West Africa, you see that the cost of West Africa is significantly higher than the cost of doing publicity in Kenya. So the graph changes with the region. It also changes with the sectors. It also changes with, you know, what are you looking at getting. For example, if you're looking at executing a press conference, the rates at which you can be able to bring in 20 media houses in a room in Kenya is a bit higher than doing the same in West Africa. And it's, what I mean to say is you can succeed more in getting the job done in East Africa as compared, it just depends with what exactly you're getting to do. And yeah.
Wow, wow. Great context even on challenges. I think I want to listen in to what Guthram will say. Looking at that poll, and you saw the results. Can we have the poll back, Annette? Looking at
I remember the results.
What are your thoughts?
Let me highlight.
Go ahead, Guthram.
Extremely.
Sorry, I think could you start again? Start again. I think we may have lost the first few words that you said. Start again, please.
Okay, no problem. I completely agree to this first point, competition among agencies. Germany is an extremely competitive market. We have extremely many PR agencies, and of course, the competition is extremely high. So therefore, there is often this problem that they do not want to share anything with, be it opinion, experience, or budget with another agency that is taking place. Another one is also if you work in an international network, then we in Germany have this problem that, and Perpetual was talking about costs. Germany is a little bit on the higher end. they try to downgrade the costs. Often the lead agency tries to standardize as much as they can and only differentiate to the various markets. Perpetual was giving an extremely interesting example for localization, which I can only admire, but the reality is often a bit different, in our case at least. This brings me to the next point. Agencies are very egoistic. They try to catch and keep and maintain in their house whatever they can. Of course, another obstacle would also be different cultures in different countries, also media cultures. What we work in Germany may not work in Poland and the other way around, for example. Another thing is exchanging between agencies. I mean, if an agency is fully booked, then the employees will not have time to really exchange opinions, which I think is also an obstacle. But nevertheless, I'm in favor of using all opportunities that exist to boost exchange and to conduct exchange. I'm not against it. I'm just speaking a little bit, or even in favor of it. I'm just was highlighting a few points which are really challenges.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So as we come to a close of this, I'd like us to, we have talked about challenges. We have had an example, perfect example from Lawrence as well, on how he maneuvered after an international organization comes to your desk. Perpetual, you've given various experiences as well from your perspective. Now, let's come to the table and talk to the people here, because we want, and we're saying that the narrative of Africa, or spreading our expertise across Africa, is not a one agency show, if I may say that we may need to embrace partnerships. We may need to embrace networks and all that. Because if I want to go to South Africa, I don't need to go there and start sending my teams down there. I know I should call our keynote address today, Tabby, and tell her, Tabby, I'm coming down there. Can you get me one agency that can, you know, help me, because they understand the audience better, all those kind of things. If I'm going to Nigeria, if I'm doing what? And maybe now as the overall, I'm just able to look at it and we all achieve and gain as we help the clients achieve what they want to do. So the question is, which is the final one as we come to a close on this, how do networks, which we know, that can support growth and professional development, how do we enhance, in your own opinion, how can we enhance this collaboration? And the reason why I want to bring that as the end in question is because there's a comment that came by, and I want to read it, that one of the challenges we have is that we have limited industry associations or bodies in this profession, you know, an easy one that you could shoot to, and then it helps you identify some of the local ones. So in your own thoughts, I know I've said many things, what do we do to enhance that, to ensure that we can, you know, now go to the global scale after we have managed to conquer Africa? Perpetua, you want to start with us? Yes.
Okay. So I'll go again to a case study of a PR agency that I'm seeing is really, really growing within the region and in a very different and digitally enhanced way, and that's APO Group. Is there anyone from APO here? Yeah? So APO, they are really, really growing just out of collaborating. And their collaboration is editorial-based. So, I mean, a company that they reached out to, which is a news company, and ideally what they get to do for you is they give you unlimited supply of press releases throughout the year, and in response, you get to give them about, they give you about premium supply of press releases, around 11 the whole year. Now, what this does is, for example, if they're in a day, they can give an editorial company, say they've collaborated with around 50 editorial companies across, and these are news agencies across Africa. What happens is, in a day, they usually send out around 10 to 15 press releases. Yeah? So 10 to 15 press releases, let's say they're charging, say, for example, $2,500, right? So in a day, you can see the numbers just out of distribution just out of collaboration. Now, these PR agencies, the brands that are out, in Europe, Middle East, and all those markets, when they get to see the numbers and the analytics, then they see, these guys have a good distribution platform, and this company is growing just out of editorial partnerships. When you look at the challenge with that is when you look at some of the companies, what they need on ground, and that's where the PR agencies come in, is they need a one-on-one touch. So other than seeing our news on the digital platforms, we also want to see you at a press conference. We want to see you talk, have a communication with the media and all that. So the personal touch will never really end. However, it's when you look at the revenue of these PR agencies, they are very well evolved, and they are really significantly higher as compared to the brick and mortar agencies that perhaps I'm running. Yeah.
All right, I think Guthrum, we can go next, and I'll close with Lawrence.
Yeah, okay. Perpetual was just talking about the paternal value, and I see a big responsibility here with international networks that, of course, can help and bring in knowledge and other perspectives. It can help educating people. So be it Weber Shandwick or Porto Novelli or Edelman, they have a role here. Also, the leading African independent agencies have a role here in order to enhance it. I think also the associations that already exist, they should go beyond their borders. And Lawrence is heading the Kenyan PR Association. Of course, they should also try to cooperate with other associations in the region and in the whole of Africa. I think that such conferences as we are attending today, the Africa Global PR Week, is an ideal and excellent platform, and I really regret that I cannot be there in presence to enhance this collaboration. Yes, these are a few points. Thank you.
No, lovely. And actually, you have just echoed a comment that came from one of the audiences that I guess platforms like this gives us the opportunity to engage each other for future collaborations. So let's make time to network. Lawrence, you have the final word.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bona Moderator. I want to agree with my fellow panelists. One of the ways that to enhance that collaboration is through a forum like this one that we are having, because it provides us with an opportunity to share knowledge and grow one another. And the other thing that I have seen in practice is having a mindset of learning and growth. And if I talk about the network that we are part of, Porto Novelli, Porto Novelli globally have what they call the Porto Novelli University, where teams from different countries that are working on, let's say, a particular client, team together and learn together, share whatever experiences, whatever challenges, or whatever successes that they are having, and use that as a way of learning across the different markets. What we have done here in Kenya, we have localized that, and we call it APN greater than college. If you Google, you'll find APN greater than college. And we have a cohort. We take a cohort every 3 months and use that as a way of learning through collaboration. If I give the example of the work that we did with Unilever, because we had a very strong component of capacity, strengthening, which was very much supported by Unilever. One of the agencies that we worked with in Rwanda had really done no work at all in the area of health and the related area. But through that collaboration, they were able to build their capacity, and they even went up to host a national conference on hygiene and sanitation that was presided over by President Kagame. So what I'm saying here, the key thing when it comes to how can we strengthen those networks is through the mindset of learning and growth. It is learning and growth. The mindset of learning and growth is the one that will help us grow because the partners within the network see a benefit when there is exchange of knowledge and experiences and lessons which can benefit them or can make their work more effective. I've seen that across the different African countries that we have worked with.
Okay, Perpetua, you seem like you wanted to say a part in something.
Yeah, closing remark?
Yes.
Okay,
you
so
quite
I
party.
think for me, my closing remark is really media still remains the biggest influential instrument we still have in the digital space. And right now what you're seeing is that there's a lot of evolution now into the, for example, the Twitter space that carries as much confidence and as much weight in feeding the news. So sometimes you see that a tweet is picked up by press and regarded as a press statement.
Absolutely.
So with the evolution of digital and the evolution of the media space, I feel like the digitization is also playing a very key role.
Powerful, powerful. Lawrence, your closing remark?
I think my closing remark I want to say is that the communication industry is at a crossroad. I can say that we are here at a very challenging time, but also there is a great opportunity. If I look at the history of the work that we have done over the years, the sort of retainer, the retainer fee that we used to get from, say, Unilever more than 12 years ago, for just dealing with one brand, not the company, it is the retainer fee that a whole corporation, a big bank, is offering today. So there is, the budgets are getting down, and the reason that they are getting down is because of several factors. And one of them is that things have changed, and it is becoming more and more difficult to, demonstrate a value of public relations. That is a challenge that we have for those who are working for agencies and those who are working for corporations. And if I can offer or rather, if you like, my 10 cents, whatever you call it, I think the opportunity lies in, what I call being a communication practitioner who wears a business kofia. You have to wear a business kofia. In our agency, there is no conversation that we have with a client without tying that conversation to a business or organizational result. If we cannot be able to align how communication is going to support them in their business or organizational result, then I know that this is a partnership that may not be able to thrive. You will be there, but you will be more or less someone good to have. But not someone, not a partner who is adding any value. And what I have seen over the years is that once we have that alignment, the partnership grows, and you can be able to have that conversation.
Wow.
If there is alignment. But if there is no alignment, you know, you will. I think there was someone question here. Excuse me if I talk around. There was someone here who was asking, why are we not being invited to the decision-making table? And the answer that I give is that an invitation to the decision-making table is not what you can call entitlement. You have to earn it. If you ask yourself, for example, if it is an engineer who is ahead of a production plant in, say, you know, a manufacturing firm, in the senior management meeting, what do they report? Pardon?
Probably how the machines are doing, what they may need, all those kind of things, the most component things.
What do they report here? They report their metrics are very tied to the whether there is efficiency in terms of the plant or whatever else.
Sure.
If it is a CFO, what do they report?
The figures, the money.
Pardon? Well, they report figures, but what else? What do they report? They report whether, you know, they are profit or not.
Profit
yes.
or loss, yes.
If you are the chief communications officer or you are an agency and you're invited to that meeting, what are you going to report?
What are you going to report?
Yeah, that is a question that you have to ask. What are you going to tie your reporting to?
Yeah.
Because the things about media, whatever else, it is a given.
Sure.
It is the tools that you use.
Okay.
But you have to align whatever you are reporting to a business or organizational result.
Sure.
Yeah, because there is no CEO who is going to have time for you if you cannot be able to align that. And over the years, I have you know, seen I have seen cases where we are able to work very well when there is that alignment. Excellent. And the example that I give is Unilever. Yeah. We worked with Unilever as an agency for more than 10 years. Okay. And the reason is that we were able to align whatever we were doing with their business results. Yeah. So that was the conversation. It was not about whether we were covered in this or we were covered in the other. That conversation is no longer the case. Okay. So that is the challenge that I would like to put to the team here. The thinking from where I come from is you know, it's something which is it is a challenge for us in the industry.
Thank you so much, Gutram. You have the final word. Please, if you could close on this.
Okay, we are indeed living, and I think all agree, in a very challenging time. So I would like to use the words of Lawrence, who was saying that we need, as an industry, as PR agencies, as PR people, we need to earn the invitation to be invited to the decision-making table by continuously demonstrating the value of PR. And for that, we need to stay together. And here I see the value of our talk here. Exchange, cooperation among PR agencies is maybe now even more important as it has ever been. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please appreciate my panelists with a clap for Santi Sana. Thank you so much. Mary, please come take a nice picture with my panelists. And just in case you think we are done with collaboration, we have just started. Yeah, just looking at the members here. So Mary, please come up here. Come gold in this picture. Gutram, stay right there because the picture will capture you. Stay right there with a beautiful smile. Somehow, you'll be organized. I'm being asked that you move to the center right here, just next to Gutram here on the big screen so that we can appreciate him. Thank you so much. Excellent. I can see him waving. Thank you, Gutram. So just pose there. One step forward. My panelists, one step forward. Gutram, stay right there. Stay right there. Take the picture, take the picture, take the picture. There you go. Excellent. Thank you so much. Gutram, are
All
you
right.
in Germany? Are you in Germany or where are you? Where are you?
I'm in my house in Germany, sir.
What time is it? What time is it there?
Now it is now 14:38.
14:38. Ah, okay. It's a
So
good
we are,
time. It's a good time.
mhm.
Okay, so we're almost at similar time. I hope you had your lunch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was very jealous about your 7-course lunch. I do not have a 7-course lunch today.
Oh, no worries. Here it's 7 course. We have been dealing with a lot of meat. But thank you. Bye-bye. Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
time there.
Thank you.
Enjoy your,
Thank you.
enjoy your time. I don't know whether to enjoy your snow, but enjoy your time. Now, ladies and
Okay, thank
gentlemen,
you.
I say it again. You know, sometimes I like thinking local, thinking like a Ghanaian, thinking like Nigerian. You understand? Thinking local, South Africa. You know, we're talking collaboration, networking, all beyond exchanging contacts, all beyond what some of us here have not even collected contacts because probably you don't believe your agency can go and work in South Africa, or you don't believe your agency can go and work in Nigeria because you're thinking small. We have to think big, is it? So please do me a favor, stand. I am that guy. Oh no, you will forgive me later. Please stand, please stand. We say that. You know, some people still haven't had the instruction. Huh? I said stand, and now this is when they start typing their email. Now look, excellent. Please stand, stretch in your own way. Excellent, excellent, lovely, lovely. This is so good, this is so good. Why are people still seated? If you see a neighbor seated, ask them, what's up? Are you here with us? Lovely, lovely. So I want us to do one thing, just a simple thing. And allow me, because it's an afternoon, food is in the stomach, it's good for us to do something. Somehow, somewhere, we're going to make a big circle, all of us, a big circle. So somehow ensure that we're in one circle. So I think the people here at the front should make it from here, moving that way. It's a big circle, don't worry. We are networking, we are collaborating, we have to be one. Yes, it should be a big circle of all of us. A big circle. There you go, a big circle. Oh, this is good. It's working. It's working. Let's make this collaboration work. Come on. There you go. Yes, it's working. It's working. It's working. A big circle. A big circle. I think we may have to cut through. Cut through here. Cut through here. Cut through here. Okay? So the rest of you come closer. Cut through here. Cut through here. Cut through. Yes. That circle needs to be one. Oh my goodness. This is not working well. Guys, what happened to my mic? Don't touch the mic. Don't touch the mic. Okay. Please don't touch my microphone. Thank you so much. We want to cut it again. This circle, we need to cut through. Okay. This one, we need help. Okay. I have an idea. No, I have an idea. Leave those ones alone. I have an idea. You see where my beautiful red colored, yes, I can tell. Please, this is where it shall be, okay? So the rest of you, come here. Well done. Come closer. This is going to work. Thank you so much. Yes. This is where the circle is, all right? Yes, there you go. Yeah, make sure we have arrived. We are there. Excellent. You see, I have gotten your attention, which is very good. What were we talking about in the last panel? Collaboration. Some of you here, when you look around, there are people you have not even talked to. You've only been eating and looking at how they eat in their country, which is not okay. All right? Why is that circle there looking messed up? Are you guys okay? You know, did you sing those songs in nursery of how to make a circle? Yes, make sure it's looking nice. Excellent. Lovely. Now, yeah, this one is so stretched. Are you guys okay? You can move in a little bit so that you're not hurting each other. Excellent. Now, I would like us to do this. Look around. In fact, when I see people in a circle, I start thinking many other things. In fact, can everybody say one? Everybody say one. I like this one. Do it like him, like one. I love that. You're giving me an idea, and the idea has stuck in my head. Now, when I say two, the other hand places the hand on the other one. Two. Let's go. Not that way. This way. Yes. Okay. No. Your one is still this way. It's the left now going on top of the other one. Yes. There you go. Lovely. I like it. Some people don't understand our culture of one, but it's okay. Now, what are you doing here? It cannot be placed on one. Okay, guys. One is the right hand. There's the one showing the finger this way, right hand. Left hand goes on top of the other right of the other person. Are we together? Finally we did. When I say 3, you capture that finger and then try to avoid being captured. All right? Does that make sense? All right? Excellent. So we shall try. 3, capture and miss. Yes. Well done. Well done. You're doing well. You're doing well. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, everybody, 1. 1. Some people are doing it so funny. Now, you cannot be holding the finger like this. No, the hand needs to be straight. 1, 2, 2, place it over it. Place it over it. Some of you, your manicure is going to injure the men. Just be careful, all right? Are you ready? Are you ready for number 3? Okay, 3. Now, who is there is, what we are trying to do is to kill, we want to kill the tension of networking. All right? Okay, so 1. Let's move very fast. Now, if you help, we will throw you out, okay? 1, 2, 1. Go back to 1. When I say 1, you go back to 1. Come on. Respect the order. Are you go back to 1? Okay, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. What's happening in Dubai? Dubai looks like it's working. It's not working. What's happening there? So just do 1. 1, 1. Just show 1. Yes, there you go. That's 1. When I say 2, you place yours here, over there. You will try to catch her. Okay? She will try to catch you. Avoid her catching you. All right? Excellent. You know, in different cultures, things happen differently. How is Ghana doing? Are we okay? Okay, so 1, 2. Are we ready? 3. Come on. Oh, my people. Oh, my people. What's happening? Okay, finally, DJ, just pause now. Finally, before we take our seat, I just want you to walk across a person, hopefully even from a different country, all right? Get to take a number, not just a number. Do a follow-up with them. It's called speed networking. So I have about 5 minutes before our final activity. Those 5 minutes is for you to go straight to that person, talk to them. Someone you've never seen, but it's somebody. Okay, but hey, let me, no, before you go, hey, stop, start, don't start. You Kenyans are too fast. Hold on. Now, how many Kenyans are here? Can I see Kenyans by show of hands? Kenyans. So the Kenyans are not going to Kenyans. Can I see? So, okay, Kenyans, put your hands down. Can I have the delegates from different countries? Put your hand up. Different countries. Can you see them? Okay, Kenyans, can you see the different countries? Okay, so walk to one from a different one. Starting now. It's called speed networking. Walk to one. Now. 5 minutes starts now. There you go. Get a contact. Collaborate. Do that. Do that, not me. Go to somebody else. Some people here. Walk to someone strange. Lorraine, what are you doing? Yes. Force it. Force it. Get a number. Get a contact. Very important. That's why we are networking. You okay? Yes. Excellent. Collaboration, networking. Beautiful. Yes. This is it. This is what we're talking about. Excellent. Lovely. This is good. This is good. Brian, be ready. Brian, wherever you are, be getting ready. Be getting ready. You've gotten the contact from SA. Have you done that? Have you done that? Excellent. Is someone looking for South Africa? South Africa is free here. Come to South Africa. Come here. You who is walking in here, come. I can see you. Come. It's here. Brian, get out of there now. Get out of there. I'm bringing South Africa. No, don't go. I had brought someone to you. There you go. Yes. Collaboration. You prepare for it. You're ready. So I'll give you the mic. Good. So I'll just call you. You do your thing. How many minutes are you taking? Very good. This afternoon, man. Oh my. All right, DJ, thank you. Guys, don't start talking about your favorite food. Not now. It's just networking. Thank you so much. 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds of that. 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. You may take your seats now. You may take your seats now. You may take your seats now. Thank you so much. Whew, what have I done? Okay, you may take your seats now. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. All right. Everybody say this once after me. Everybody say, shh. Thank you. Take your seats now. Thank you. Team Ghana, my Ghanaian friends, take your seats now. You have started asking about their favorite food now. It's not now. It's later. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Whew. That was good. I've made some people who are introverts get out of their comfort zone. Now, that's the practical essence of it. When we are talking about networking, that we need to network, we need to do what? The practical essence of it is to really do it, right? Can you see the ones who are still stuck? They cannot end it. Look at them. I wish the camera could focus on them. Can the camera show me those people, those two people there who are still standing and talking? It would be very nice. It would be very nice. Yeah. Show me those ones. It would be very nice. Put them on the screen. It would be nice. And then once you have them, grab them. Show me those ones. You know, I'll be very happy. Because there are people who get in this collaboration is really working. Do you have the shot? It's those guys who are still studying and talking. That's what I wanted. Yeah. If you have the shot, no. I think someone has the shot for you, Annette. Just go sink it in. There you go. Yeah. You see those ones? That's the ones I'm talking about. Yeah. Hey, can we end? Yeah. You're on the screen now. They have ended. You see? Thank you, guys. I think sometimes we can talk a lot of big jargon, a lot of discussions. But it goes down to the bottom line of deliberately creating those networks. Is it? Right? Hello? Yes, are we together? Excellent. So it goes down to that. So that contact you've received, that email address, that's something. Please connect with them. Now, Brian is here and is ready to take us on the last session of the day. It's a quick presentation for something that will help you big time in what you're supposed to do. But before he does that, I have an announcement. This is very important. We have just felt that networking, you've only managed 1 or 2 persons, right? So we can do this more. So tomorrow, everybody say tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we want to have a nice session of an African dish, a nice dinner kind of thing. I know there was dinner that was told about to you as you were registering for this conference. We have decided to tweak it to a nice, easy kind of thing, an African style way, all right? In fact, we have decided so that we don't have currency conversions. Everybody say 1,000. 1,000. Now you can add a dollar sign on it. That's the only cost that you may have to. No, sorry. Did I say 1,000? Sorry. It's 100. Some people are already like, where are my bags? Sorry. It's my simple conversion. So 1,000 Kenya shillings is top of mind. So it's 100. It's 100, right? Excellent. So just $100, and we shall have a nice evening of pure African theme kind of thing, and of course more networking, and really finalizing this with a great session it has been. So please ensure, where is Faith? Where is Faith? I'm looking for Faith. Faith, there you go. The lady at the back who's waving nicely, there you go. Keep waving. Okay, you know, we Africans take time. Yes, that's Faith. See her. Please register with her for tomorrow so we can create that nice space. I can assure you, it's not something like this. This is conference-ish. So we shall not be here. We shall go somewhere where I don't want to announce it, so that element of surprise can hit you. Are we together? Are we together all the way from Dubai? Are we together? You flowing? Make sure you do that. Thank you so much. So over to you, Brian. Quick one. Tell us about this Prevail. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hello. I want to teach you something before I start. I'm part of an organization called ISEC. How many are from ISEC here? Hey, ISEC. What's up? Hey, Isaac. What's up? So I say, hey, Isaac. Then you revert with, what's up? Okay? Hey, Isaac. Louder. Hey, Isaac. Now it's going to be, hey, AGPR week. Then we shout, okay? Hey, AGPR week. Louder. Hey, AGPR week. I'm louder than you all on my own. Hey, let's put effort. Hey, AGPR week. Fantastic. All right. So my name is Brian Munana. I wear several hats, but for today, I wear a hat of a builder. And I'll be telling you the story of Prevail. Now, Prevail is a very interesting tool that we've built, and I want you to go home with two things in your mind. One, exclusive access, and then two, homegrown. And what we mean by homegrown is by Africa for the world. All right? So, how many of you are PR professionals? Yeah, it's all of you, but I want to see. How many of you are fantastic? Now, there are three things that are the backbone of why we sat down and said, we want to build Prevail. Number one, the current existing tools are quite expensive for us. Is that true? I wouldn't know, but would you tell me, is that true? So the current tools are quite expensive, and they are quite exclusive and not so much tailored for us as Africans. Number two, they don't provide media monitoring. So you can't know when your post or your press release went up. You wouldn't know real time what's happening beyond you releasing that press. And then three, brand listening. So these tools don't actually give you a real sentiment analysis of what people are saying or feeling about your brand. Now, knock, knock, who's there? It's Prevail to answer those questions. Today, I want to show you how we have managed to go beyond just creating and releasing campaigns through digital platforms. And I introduce you to Brand Performance by Prevail. So what this means, it's very, very simple. Prevail has AI algorithms that scan through the internet based on your brand. You have the chance and the opportunity to create a brand. Here, we already created one for AGPR week, and it gets to show you how well or how badly that as a brand gets to perform. It collects real-time analysis and data across all digital platforms, be it social media, be it websites, be it articles. It has algorithm that tracks each and everything that people speak about it, how they engage with it. So these are the impressions, how they speak or text or chat about it. So it is doing well. Prevail is fun. AGPR week is exciting. All that. It gets to track that, keep a record of it, and gets to display it for you in real time. What we mean by real time is you log off onto the from the platform, you come, you reload it 1 hour later, it has as small as 0.1% increase in engagement, whether positive or negative in regards to your brand. Then later, it has what we call what users are saying. So it gets to pick up real time, and this is more of evidence-backed metrics to show you exactly why we are saying your brand is positively performing. So right here, it gets to show you across all categories. Then the model gets to pick on the negative comments. It can specify on the negativity. It can then specify on the positivity. It can specify on the neutral. All these keyed in, and it's happening live from the tool. And then after it all, it gives you an overall sentiment analysis. So is it yay or is it nay? And it gives you across all days. Why is this important? If you ask me, it gets to give you real-time analysis of yesterday things were okay, today things are down, and gets to answer exactly why. What are people actually saying? Now that's on our brands. Now let's get to the fun part, the campaigns. You have created your campaign, you have released your campaign. Now, Prevail here gets to give you a dashboard that has all the analytics in regards to your campaigns. Now, this is quite interesting. We have given a news media to release an article regarding your campaign. Immediately they do, whether they have told you or not, Prevail gets to notify you immediately. It says, so-and-so has published your article. So-and-so has published your release. So-and-so has done this. So-and-so is interacting with your release as this way. This is how many people who have seen your release. This is what they're saying about that release. This is how many people that have shared it. And this is a result, this is how many people in total have engaged with that same release. All in one platform, all in real time. It gets to show you the total impressions, the total reach, total conveniences, and at the same time, an average converter of the rate. So if it's an increase or a decrease. And what is more exciting is you can then have a coverage report, which is very important for your stakeholders. Compiles all the metrics from your brand trust score, from your brand sentiment analysis through to your campaign, and then eventually you can all export it, whether as a PDF, which is actually well-designed, immediate, and ready for presentation, or then you can export it as an Excel sheet for numbers if that is what you're keen on. And this is Prevail. Now, there's something about sentiment analysis where people are saying not so good things. Just an example, we share a post recently with a lady called Yvonne Okwara. She's a TV news anchor, and just recently she interviewed the former deputy president of Kenya. The comment section on my Instagram is not so good things since it happened. Now, what Prevail does in this instance, it gets to tell you real time what people are saying in that regard. It gets to pick up that specific comment, and it gets to display it on your platform. Why? We're trying to build something towards crisis management, and this is our first step towards it. That if someone says something that is not so good, the app detects it, displays it for you, and gives you real time, again, the opportunity to reply to it. It's sort of trying to pour cold water onto hot wood. So it helps you to real time get to respond immediately to it. Beyond that, every other thing that you've been able to do with the previous two, we can. So that means we have interconnected all socials with the platform. So you always create a post on your TikTok, you always go create a post on your Facebook, on your X account, all that. From Prevail, you need to create one post, and it can then distribute it across all your social media platforms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I said, I have two things for you here. The first one is exclusive access. So the reason why I've been given a stage today is to invite you to test what we have here, because this has been built for you. And then two, it has been built by us here at home. It's an African product, and we want it to make global waves. So we are inviting you to Prevail for Africa, from Africa, for the world. Thank you so much. I hope to see you and engage with you. Asanteni sana. Any questions?
You've done well. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate him one more time with a clap. Thank you so much. Ella, so I'm able to also see negative things, eh? Please, for all of you who are posting negative things about me, I'm just joking. But anyway, I think that should be it. But there's a question. There's a quick question here. Yes, there's a question that has been asked. Can I have a mic? Can I have a mic? Please pass the mic to this table here, Glory.
Thank you, Brian, for the presentation. And it's quite a great tool. I think to be obviously very helpful for PR practitioners and agencies and basically, everyone out there. My question is about monitoring, and what do you see are some trends with regards to evaluation and the tech around monitoring and evaluation, and where that is going for PR practitioners?
The best way to answer that specific question is AI comes in at a very interesting time right now because of whatever we are able to monitor here has largely then been helped by AI doing its part. So there are models for those who are interested in creating in that space, and I love how broad AI could get into that then help us in real time build models that can not just get to help you post or release, but could help you to track and follow and monitor. So models, and especially in AI, they have the capability or the capacity to be trained in such a way that it gets to sit on your desk and sort of always have eyes overview of whatever is happening from a digital footprint. And this is more so using specific keywords related to your campaigns or your brands that then could be specifically captured all across digital. And I understand we've had a very interesting 2 days that even point out the digital aspect of PR. And that's how I believe monitoring and what will soon happen is, as we are pioneering in this space here, especially in Kenya, more will come up, more models will be, and AI is only going to get smarter. So monitoring is going to come at a very interesting, new, higher levels, especially because of the capacities and the capabilities that AI bring to the table.
That's a good one. There you go. There's another question here. There's another question. Let me pass the mic. Okay.
Yeah, and very interesting insights. Thank you. I just wanted to find out, because sometimes we have clients that some news is picked up maybe on vernacular or traditional news. Are you also monitoring that? And that will be radio, your TVs, and the newspaper. Obviously, newspaper is easy to capture.
First things first, we would want to invite you to be part of our testers. And why I say invite you to be part of that, it's because we've had a very long debate before or during building for that specific question that you've asked. So I wouldn't tell you I have an immediate answer, but it would be lovely to continue co-creating and co-building in that regard, although it's not a question or an answer that I'd have for now. Santi.
All right. Is there one more question? Just going once. Okay. Looks like the room is fine. Are you laughing or you want to ask a question? Camera, could you focus on them? Is it a question? Okay, sorry. I think that should be it. Let's appreciate Brian with a clap. Thank you so much, Brian. Beautiful, beautiful. Asante sana. I think that was good. And I think this is what we're talking about. It's more like sustainability. Nowadays, they have a lot of ways of reporting. GRI, all those things. Now we're saying, even here, we can do it for PR. Sentiments, all that. Because sometimes it's hard to know what are people saying. Or even when you engage influencers, what are they doing? Ladies and gentlemen, look at it. It is 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock it's tea time and networking time, and we are done for the day. Oh, this is so good. Let's appreciate that session for the day. Thank you so much. Beautiful. If you look at the back, tea is set and ready for you. So the networking that I made you do by force, you can now proceed on. There's some people I had to force them to cut. So please proceed on, talk more with other people. For the ones who have some email to proceed on, now you have some chance. We knew we wanted to allow you to do this. So, but please remember, one more announcement. Tomorrow dinner, please make sure you register. Faith, where's Faith? Faith is there. She's waiting for you. Tell her to do that, okay? Excellent. You can even start saying, I like ostrich meat, anything like that. She will ensure those things that kind of happen, all right? There you go. See you tomorrow at the usual. 8:30 on the dot, we start. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye-bye.